So who is in the post-Christian society, right? Who's in the post-Christian society? So first we talked about the nuns. The nuns are people who are not religiously affiliated with a formal religion, but they do have some level of spirituality. And sometimes we believe that just because people say, I don't go to church, or I don't believe in the church, or I don't believe in formal religion, that they're atheists. That's a bad assumption to make. Although some are, many of them have a spirituality. They're, pantheistic, or they all different kinds of religion, right? And for an example, listen to this. In 2019, the New York Times deemed 2019 the season of the witch. Amazing. Witchcraft, it had become so prevalent, and people began to even consider it a religion, that in 2019, New York Times, reputable newspaper, deemed it the season of the witch. That's what we're dealing with now. I call these people the Psalms. And everybody knows the Psalm, right? They believe in God sometimes. They go to church sometimes. They have faith sometimes. So these are people that aren't stable in their faith and may need some help. Then we have those that church. All right. They left church because they were disillusioned with organized religion. Some have been hurt and harmed by members of the church, and people who maybe did not feel any connection coming into the church. So when we talk about a post-Christian society, many of us, we're okay with that first group. But I want to talk about this second group, because I believe that this is the group that we really have to deal with. This is the group that challenges us as Christian educators. Number one, the Christian who needs discipling. The church, this is the person that's professed salvation through Christ, but the church has left its teaching principles, right? I remember growing up, we had Sunshine Band, and then we had YWCC, YPWW, Sunday School, Bible Band, Friday night teaching. I mean, you may have been in 4 teaching sessions in the course of a week. How many teaching sessions does the church offer its membership or even the community today? There's a lack of discipling of our people and to teach them how to live in this world. And I'm not talking about legalism. I'm not talking about traditionalism. I'm not talking about culturalism. I'm talking about the disciple believer. How do you live in this post-pandemic world, this post-Christian society? How do we represent God, right? So that's one. That's Ephesians 4:16, right? So we all come into the knowledge and the full knowledge of Jesus Christ. Here's the one that's getting me, and that's the Christian who compromise. And this is the Christian that knows the standards, but makes deliberate decisions to compromise God's way. This is the poster child for the post-Christian. This is the person that everybody will point to as to why they don't believe in church, why they don't believe in God, why they don't trust this way. Because we have made allowances for our flesh and our desires. We have made excuses for ungodly behavior. We have Christians who, I've actually seen on Facebook high ecclesiastical figures who are saying, hey, how to teach our children how to be safe in premarital sex. That's a total compromise of God's standard. But this is coming out of the church. And so we have to be careful. This is the post-Christian society, the Christian who compromises, right? So this is the Romans 6:1. Shall we continue in sin, right? That grace may abound. This is the Romans 12:1. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Present your body a living sacrifice, right? The Romans 1:25. This is the person who left the truth for a lie. The Christian who compromises. And last, the Christian who is unable or unwilling to defend the faith, right? So what happens is the person that's unable has not been trained to properly defend the faith. And that's something in the discipling piece. That's something that someone that is a mature Christian is able to talk about their faith from a level of confidence and assurance, and also of persuasiveness, right? We're talking about an apologetic person. But then there's the person who is unwilling to defend the faith. These are the people who choose to remain silent when they should be speaking up for biblical standards. These are the challenges we have in post-Christian society, right? Okay, next slide.